thank you for taking the time to talk to us tonight here on... Oh, you're naked. Oh, yep, you are naked.
Yeah.
Of course, because you're a naturist. You are a naturist. Why do people have an attraction, if they're naturists, in being in the great outdoors naked, rather than, you know, wanting to perhaps wander around their own homes naked? What's the difference and the attraction of doing it when you're sort of out and about?
Right. Well, I mean, it's nice to be in both environments, but there is something really lovely about getting outside and getting at one with nature. We all enjoy the warm weather, the sunshine when it's out. Why would you want to walk around with lots of really, hot and sweaty clothes on? No, it's very, very nice. It's very, very liberating. It's very good for mind and body, and we all need some vitamin D on our skin.
True, but like, I don't want to beat around the bush, but I don't always like when I go to Greece on holiday sometimes, and so I'll be on the beach, and it's a partly nudist beach, and I'll be sort of lying there in my swim shorts, lying there sort of, having a nice little doze, and then I'll sort of look round and open my eyes, and there's a vagina there, or there's do you know what I mean? And sometimes, as much as we are aware of the human form, I don't say I find it offensive, but it's just a bit, I don't know if I want to see it. Do you see what I mean? Is that I don't mean to sound like I'm being sort of disrespectful or offensive, but you must also acknowledge that for some people who perhaps aren't used to seeing nudity that close on people they don't know, it must be a shock.
Yes, I'm sure it can be a shock if it's something they've never come across before. But as you say, it's just a naked body. We all have one. I'm sure even those people have looked under their clothes and found one. It shouldn't be a total shock as to what it looks like. But no, okay, so it doesn't suit everyone. I'm not saying everyone should go out and do it, but people do like to do it, and it isn't illegal. So we enjoy going out to the countryside.
Is my right not to see a stranger's naked body? Does that trump your right to want to be in public naked? Because I think that's where the debate is, isn't it?
I suppose it probably is. That's where the debate is. But, it's not illegal. So does your right not to see someone with tattoos that you don't like in the street? How do you say they should be arrested? So, where do you draw the line? It's not illegal. We are just doing passive behavioural things. We're walking. We're just minding our own business.
Yeah, but I suppose, especially if you're on a day trip with your family, you'd be going to if you're going to like a forest or some woods, you don't want to see more wood than you'd expect, frankly, because a lot of people might say, well, look, I've got my children with me, or I've got, elderly relatives with me. I don't know if I want them to maybe see that. And again, have they got a right to not want to see that?
I suppose this debate could run. I'm not sure about how you actually get over the rights on either side, to be honest. If you meet people and they are clearly how can I put it? If they're clearly sort of upset by it, then naturists tend to cover up. We're not offensive people. We're just normal.
I know that, and I know that there's almost nothing prurient about it. I know that maybe there's a temptation to think, well, you're naturist, so that means there's a sexual element. Whereas I agree that, and I'm sure you would, that there probably isn't. It's just about wanting to feel free and wanting to not be constrained. I'm wondering where the line is, though, because obviously, this is about Sherwood Forest, but if you could, would you go to Sainsbury's naked if you could? Would you fill up the car with petrol naked if you could? Or are there some places where you acknowledge that that's not going to be appropriate?
I acknowledge that isn't appropriate in our current society and in our country. If it was normal, then I would do it, but it isn't. It isn't. It's we can walk down the street in a busy high street, but I wouldn't do it because you wouldn't be expected to see people like that in a busy high street at the moment. It's not that environment we live in. But
why are woods different then?
Sorry, why are woods different?
Yeah, why are woods different to that?
because you don't get quite so many people out in the woods. Naturists do tend to try and walk where it's quiet, mainly because they just like walking where it's quiet.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I would never go to Sainsbury's naked.
Do you think that people are unkind to naturists?
I don't know if unkind is really the right word.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the word, goes as far as to use the word prejudice. But do you think that you're misunderstood? Maybe that would be the way to say it.
Yeah, I'm sure we are. But then aren't most minority groups?
Yeah, but a lot of minority groups perhaps don't choose their behaviour. Maybe that's the difference. Because if you're a persecuted minority group, or if you're a misunderstood minority group, there are minority groups by virtue of birth, but you're kind of a minority group who makes a choice to do that behaviour. I'm not necessarily criticising that choice, but the argument would be, well, look, you could always put your clothes on if you feel that people are being unkind or misunderstanding you.
Yes, and I'm sure people do put their clothes on if they feel people are being unkind. So it's a choice, as you say. Yeah. It's a personal choice.
All right. Well, and what do you think, just finally, should, I don't know, the council involved here, should they stop people from wandering around through Sherwood Forest without their clothes on? Or do you think that the people have the right to do that?
I don't think they should stop them. It's, as I say, the law is on our side.
Isn't there a law about decency, though, about public decency? Or how does that fit in with it?
No. It's you're looking at the law from a different point of view. That's not really how the law is phrased. If you are doing a passive behaviour, it is not illegal to be naked in public.
So I could theoretically, if I wanted to, because this is quite interesting, because I don't know if people know that law then. So if I was walking down the street, my God, this will be quite a vision for people, provocatively doing something provocative, sexually provocative whilst naked, that would be indecent. But if I wanted to walk down the street naked just by virtue of being naked, that in the eyes of the law is allowed.
That's exactly, yeah.
Wow, I don't know if anyone would want to see that, frankly. But then again, I suppose, it's not it's about your desire to do that, and it shouldn't, I suppose, be based on whether you've got a good or a muscular toned body or not.
No, naturism isn't about the body. It isn't about the body beautiful or anything like that. It's just about enjoying being naked and being free.